Hey everybody. Before I even get going, I don't even care if you guys show up tonight. Bernie Sanders is live right now in Los Angeles. You can watch him talking if you tune in right now over to the Bernie Sanders Brigade, I think it is. They are live streaming Bernie speaking in Los Angeles, and he's doing quite a good job tonight, as per usual. You know, letting you guys know that he is not a perfect candidate, that we all sort of stretch the truth, and, you know, that political purity, and I'm paraphrasing him, is a dangerous game. The political purity is a dangerous game. You know, Steve did a quick broadcast this afternoon that I wanted to sort of follow up on so that you guys sort of can get an understanding of where I think Real Progressives is coming from. And the bottom line is we're going to try to take as little bullshit as we can. We're going to try to call out as much bullshit as we can across the board, because it's very dangerous what is going on in the media in general. And again, Bernie Sanders is over live on Bernie Sanders Brigade if you want to check over that, but stay with me too if you want to talk to me. But I'm just going to do a brief broadcast of about 20 minutes about Bill Maher and MSNBC and the entertainment and the media field that is corrupted through money, and they make their decisions in the way they talk about money. You know, news people are not dumb. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly that they're avoiding the issues. They know that this Jerry Springer-like back and forth between fake news and Trump, people watch it just like they watch Jerry Springer. But it's very dangerous. It does nothing for anybody. It dismisses real issues. Susan Sarandon was on with Chris Hayes, and she just savaged him with, why don't you fucking cover the North Dakota pipeline? Why aren't you covering Flint? Why aren't you covering global warming? And that's why Trump is so dangerous. What he is doing with his branding actually works, right? So he has a core group of voters that are going to believe in him no matter what. If he can bring any other over to his side on the way, that's dangerous. Now, we have our core Clintons, right, that are always going to believe in the Clinton-esque corporate moderate. They're going to listen with corporate moderate ears. So now we have these two factions divided, and somehow we have to develop this third area that's going to take over. And I think it's fascinating that we learn and watch more and more, right? So the DNC is having a debate, a DNC chair debate for the first time. I don't think that's ever been broadcast on live TV, is coming up this week. And again, you're not going to like what I have to say about that, but I still believe Keith Ellison, even though Sam Ronan has a better take, just you'll watch and see, and maybe Sam will shine that night, but Keith just has better charisma, better pop, better handle on the issues. Now, you may or may not like that because you think Sam is more progressive, and I'm not going to lie to you, but one is going to shine more. And this is the problem, again, with celebrities like Bill Maher. Bill Maher took Milos on Friday night and he normalized the guy. Now, Milos is a very dangerous character because he's a bit of a chameleon, a bit of a villain. Like when he went on Bill Maher, he really played up almost the gay aspect, dressing gay and being more effeminate than he normally is. But if you ever see him speak in public, it's much more harsh. It's much more, and he went out of his way to call two black guys dumb, and he went out of his way to call Leslie Jones illiterate, and Bill didn't check him. Bill normalized him. And I really believe wholeheartedly, and let me talk to you about something else. On the Bill Maher show, they discussed how the Russian scandal was the biggest scandal in the history of politics, or the Russians being involved with the election of Trump was the biggest scandal in history. The biggest scandal in history was not Bernie Sanders being rigged out of a primary. It was not this Democratic Party that was so arrogant that they were willing to sacrifice. They knew they were sacrificing Mexicans and Muslims and the planet. They knew they were doing that. But their arrogance allowed them to dismiss us. They allowed us to dismiss Bernie. They allowed us to dismiss you. That's why I wasn't planning on helping, because they dismissed us. They said, we don't need you. But you have to call out, and it's going to be such a chore, and that's why this network is going to have to grow and become a bigger deal, because we're fighting against entertainment that normalizes people like Milos and says, 3 panel guests say that the Russian scandal is the biggest scandal in history. Can you fucking believe that they say that that's the biggest scandal we've ever had? that the Russians fucking hacked into the DNC and showed how much they rigged the primary. That's the biggest scandal ever. But never talking about the DNC or the rigging. No one's talking about that. Now, it's going to be really interesting. We have something to look forward to on Wednesday when they do this DNC primary debate. We're going to be able to see what kind of questions come down the pipe. Are they going to actually talk about the DNC? Are they going to talk about Donna Brazil? Oh, and I'm so glad this is sort of going in line. So there are numbers you can call. It's going to be very hard to see on my wall. A guy named Andrew Coleman that I don't know, he posted a whole list, a whole 16-page list of all your representatives state by state. So each state, excuse me, I burped. So each state, I think, has 2 to 4 representatives that are involved with the DNC chair. So you can call them, and you have to start calling them. And let me talk about the good progressives. Let me talk about the good progressive outlets that we actually have. Jimmy Dore and the Humanist Report, I forget his name right now. Jimmy Dore did a great video on Sheldon Whitehouse, how he was completely called out at a Rhode Island town hall. It's the most hysterical thing. I don't even think Jimmy did it justice enough because, God, Sheldon was squirming like nobody's business. And let me just tie this in. So there was a report from the Humanist that says the DNC doesn't like the fact that you're calling them and calling them out on not being progressive enough, that they are going to vote for Tom Perez to spite you. Because you like Ellison or you like Sam Ronan, you're calling them, well then fuck you, I'm going to vote for Tom Perez. That's how disconnected we are. So we have core Trumpers that we're never going to get to. Then we have core Clintons that we're never going to get to. And we're working on this middle progressive area. And we're working on uniting. And you can see how difficult it is. There's always going to be divisions between us because we're critical thinkers and we always think we think better than the others. But I'm just saying, I know who I am. I am not a person of purity. I have so many faults. And we all have so many faults. So I'm begging you to sort of let go of that purity and try to keep the door open for all of us. Progressive Independent Party, the Green Party, the Bernie Sanders Party, where the energy really does lie. Keep that open. Try to keep your heart open with all of this because this is a tough war. I'm telling you, to beat Donald Trump, we need a bigger bully. That's the way it works. When a bigger bully comes up, you need someone who's going to walk up to that bully and punch him in the mouth. That's the way it works. This guy is a bully, and he's emboldening bullies. So right now, the guy we have that's our bully, that's our fighter, that's going to step up, is Bernie. Whether you like that or not, whether he reaches all your tests, your purity tests, we don't have anybody else right now who's trying to punch him in the mouth. And that's what it takes. I know that you guys don't like to hear that, but that's the way it works. And in this world, he's winning because of social media. And I think, this network is really important because eventually, hopefully, we can do video packages, small video packages that people do. Better guests, better shows. Steve is saying we're going to go international. So important that we continue to grow what we're doing. But I want to say, again, feel free to turn me off right now and watch Bernie live in Los Angeles, still fighting the good fight, still making real good sense. And I really still enjoy his message because, he tries to explain the game that he has to play without completely revealing his cards to you. I know you guys want to see his full hand. I realize that, but he just can't do it. It's just not the way the game is played. But please check out, I have all my notes in front of me so that I can remember what I'm doing. So I went through Inside Job again, the documentary that you should really look through the players again, to figure out how this is all happening and who the players are. And I actually just led me to Trump tweets where he is continually lying all the time. Now, they're subtle lies, but he lies all the time. With Sweden, he made a couple of tweets where he said Iran was the number one country in terrorism. They're not even the top 10, a tweet that he put out there. So again, his tweets are literally dangerous. I get that. But so is the press is dangerous too because they're not covering any of these issues. But it is almost so overwhelming, this 24/7 hour coverage of the news fighting back and forth to Trump. That's all it was this weekend. Back and forth was, you couldn't even believe it. It was like, it was like you thought you were watching Jerry Springer, because the news would say like, he's a liar, and then they would show Trump saying, no, you're a liar, and then the news would come back and say, Trump's a liar, and then they would go back to Trump. It's like, what am I fucking watching? Are they going to throw chairs next? Are people going to start ripping each other's clothes off? Because I'm going to need that to keep watching this bullshit, because you're not covering fucking anything. Today was also, I'm a Muslim too, here in New York City. Did very well on Twitter, which was, so really important movement that went on today. But I still believe in two things: that we need a bigger bully to punch Trump in the face. I don't know who's gonna step up and do that, because the people who are going to try to punch him in the face are corporate mods or corporate celebrities. Even SNL and Bill Maher are not going to hit him as hard, because they're going to still bring us back to the corporate Dems, to the profitable money area. They're never going to call out, corporations making way too much and paying their CEOs way too much money and not paying a living wage or even paying their workers the right way. So I'm really torn about celebrity and what we consider progressive media. That's why, again, Jimmy Dore, check him out. Great thing on Sheldon Whitehouse, and how he was just savaged at a town hall. The Humanist Report was also great, about the DNC chair and them saying that they are very upset that you're calling them. So please find the numbers. And I must tell you again, I never knew how many representatives voted for the DNC chair. I'm being honest with you. I never knew this information. So that was the one thing that Steve was talking about is, people like me, I'm still learning. I'm still going deeper and deeper down this rabbit hole. So there's going to be people that don't understand, and we need to pull them in. And we need to, the ones that fight us, we have to fight them just as hard. The ones that disagree with us, those are the ones that we have to fight with. The ones that are sort of like, I don't know, I'm not sure, those are the ones you got to be a little more gentle with and say, okay, come with us, listen to us. We have some information for you. We have to be like door to door and knock on the door. I'm a Bernie-crat. Bernie Sanders is my savior. No, I know that's not true for all of you. But I'm just saying we have to be a little more gentle. When people fight us, fight back hard. And when people are sort of confused, reach out your hand. It's going to be a tough dichotomy to walk. What time is it? All right, 11:51. But Bernie Sanders is live right now. Please go to the Bernie Sanders Brigade page and then follow them. The problem. So other big stories that I know I've told you guys is the people being emboldened, right? So if you go to these live streams, please go to these live streams so you can see what's out there. We had a police officer in New Jersey here, pro-Trump tweeting and fighting back with Democrats in a way that got him in trouble, a police officer. And I know that's indicative of, there's many Republicans and Trumpers and they're going to support them, but I'm saying they're emboldened. They're not a police officer, not afraid to just get on there and put out terrible tweets. So they are emboldened, and it is, to me, scary. And I think it's going to take two ways to beat Trump. Obviously, grassroots media, what we're doing. We need a bigger bully, which maybe that's Bernie and Tulsi and someone else or Nina, but we might need the Avengers to go after Trump. I mean, he's that big of a villain. But we also need to rebrand this guy. Like, I believe we have to start saying radical Republican terrorists, right? Now, you might not believe that, but I believe these guys are Republican radical terrorists. Now, why do I say that? And I put this on my wall, and I said, but basically because they're Republican radical terrorists because they're going to kill the planet. Now, I did that because that's what fits in the big letters, right? That's made the big. And then so it was like, well, you can't kill a planet. I mean, they're killing the fucking water supply. They're going to kill, they're going to cause global warming. They're going to cause the sea to rise. They're going to kill us. They're going to kill life. They're radical Republican terrorists. Now, on that tip, there is a bill they're pushing through Congress to increase vouchers and defund public education. Now, this is happening. You can go to my wall again. So the House is pushing through to defunding, and it has all these crazy elements in there. Where there's nothing in the bill that says they can't teach intelligent design, and they don't have to not take in people with disabilities. I mean, it's a horrendous defunding of public education. So I really believe we're going to have to come up with multiple ways of fighting against Trump. One is this grassroots media, which is going to have to grow in scope and in size. And that's on you guys to help. 2 is we're going to have to rebrand them. And 3, we need a bigger bully. And he's growing in size. And the corporate media is allowing this. Jesus, Mary, he's getting so much press time. And you have to understand, the core Trumpers, they fucking love this. Trump to them is 24/7 Jerry Springer. He's just giving them exactly what they want. And we're getting no pushback from anybody. And that's why real progressives are so important. Let me just check my notes and then let me look at what you guys. But these guys are fucking perfect hypocrites. These Republicans are just fucking perfect hypocrites. There's like nothing you can really do because they just lie out of their ass continually. I think I covered everything. Please call your local DNC reps. Get ready for this debate and we'll see what happens there. All right, let me check out what you guys are saying. I think I covered everything. I really want to talk about the inside job, but Steve had a really good broadcast about how we have to sort of handle what's going on here with people attacking us and attacking what we do, and at the same time sort of being gentle with the people like that might not be Bernie Sanders people and get pissed at me. I get it, but I still need you to watch and be here and be part of this because Trump and Republicans are way more dangerous than you are. We're almost very good friends. You're really hurting our friendship by inches, you know. All right, so let me just scroll back, see what's going on tonight. I have 4 minutes. I'm sorry I talk so long. But please check out the Bernie Brigade and please share Bernie Sanders' feed tonight. No, you're wrong. It's doing something. It's doing good by corporations and corrupt politicians. I'm not sure what that means. I don't like Keith because he supported Hillary. Well, yeah, and again, anybody who's getting paid a salary and making money, you know they're being told what to say. That's why I'm saying nonprofit grassroots is so important because, you know, Steve lets me talk. He could fire me, but I'm not beholden to what he tells me to say. He sort of lets me go as long as I'm on a progressive agenda. But you know these other people are told what to say. They have to toe the company line. You know Tom Perez, the DNC chair, he is towing the corporate moderate line. You know MSNBC is. It's total bullshit. There is almost no free press. This grassroots nonprofit that we're doing right now, and I don't know if anybody's ever going to pull off what we're trying to do, is most important. I guess people are talking about Keith Olbermann. I think. Keith Ellison. Okay, we're going back to Keith Ellison. Yes, okay, so let's talk about Keith Ellison. I understand all your problems with Keith Ellison. But he's Bernie's guy, so we know that Bernie has influence on what he has to say and how he does his business, right? And it is an FU to the DNC if we can get Keith in there. Now, I've watched Keith in a forum destroy everybody else on that panel. I'm just telling you from an entertainment, media, pop, charisma, gets it, will unite us kind of way. Now, you can have all the purity tests with Keith you want. That's up to you. That's fine. I'm just telling you the reality, the truth of the situation. Now, I'm going to tell you this. If they elect Tom Perez, I am officially fucking done with the DNC. Bernie, whatever. I am done with the DNC. If Keith Ellison doesn't get in, I'm done. I will not go back. There's no fucking way I'm listening to anybody else but Keith Ellison, unless Sam gets in. But I'm done. So, you know, it's a big thing for me. So don't get it twisted that I won't just bail on these guys. I put my finger on the screen and I went all the way to the bottom, so I got to pull back again. So Sienna says, O'Neill says, get over Bernie and move along. Now the problem with that statement is you don't understand the numbers game. You don't understand how much money it requires to win. You don't understand the number of people involved, the volunteer effort, that it'll never happen without Bernie. You're not going to beat Trump without a bigger bully, without a bigger person. Now, Bernie's not even there numbers-wise. So if your tactic is not understanding the zeitgeist of America, not understanding society and how it works with social media and corporate media and just how much play they give Trump, that's your mistake. There's nothing I can help you with. But if you're going to point me in the way of a Jill Stein, who I love, just doesn't have the social media numbers, just doesn't have the money. And that's just the facts. I'm not trying to be a douchebag. I'm trying to give you the truth. It's like Steve gives you economic truth. I can only give you entertainment and media truth. That's all I can do. And again, let's go back to Keith Ellison. If Keith Ellison does not get in, I am totally done with the DNC. There's no fucking way they're going to do anything. There will be no change. I don't care who the fuck it is. They're not going to change. They're going to go back. They're going to beat us up. They're going to beat up Bernie. It's going to get fucking ugly. And Trump will be in there for 8 years. Mike Moore says Perez is in. The DNC doesn't care because they are neoliberal. And Mike, that's the thing, Mike Morris. I don't even know who these people are. I have to go through this 16 pages of 400 people that I would have to vet. That no one's going to do, right? No one's going to take the time to vet these 400 representatives that are going to be voting for DNC chair. So, you could be right, Mike. I have no idea if we have any chance whatsoever. Yeah, and when I say bigger bully, I don't even know if that's the right term. Sue is saying bigger hero, bigger puncher. Trump is a big puncher. He's a big lying puncher. He lies very well. He dominates the media. It's just a fact. I'm trying to strategize with you guys. I'm trying to keep it real. I want us to win. There has been nothing like Bernie in the history of politics. And there's been nothing like Trump, right? So two phenoms in the history of politics. We're going to have a DNC chair debate. You don't think we're getting ratings? You don't think people are waking up? That's fucking crazy. And again, let's watch the debate. Let's come back here and decide who you guys think made the best impression and who do you think people, the general public, are going to attract to. And again, I hate that that's the way society runs, but that's the way society runs. That's just it. That's the way it goes. I'm already done with the DNC. I get it. I know a lot of people want Tulsi, but I don't know if Tulsi will have the power. But we could be wrong. I just think you could be right. Tulsi could be the answers. And let's, that's another thing. Maybe we should be drafting Tulsi for the third party because she seems the bravest. Maybe she's the one that we should be drafting for the third party instead of Bernie. So maybe we got to talk to Nick Brana that it's a double drafting, right? We want to draft both. We want to draft both Tulsi and Bernie. So maybe that's the answer to this dilemma we're having. Tell Nick he's got to put two names on that drafting board, Tulsi or Bernie, because we really like them together if we could. So there. So we came to a little bit of a conclusion. I'm sorry that this, I'm so sorry about landscape. It flies up so fast. Dolores says Trump is not the villain. The deep state, Republicans and Democrats are shilling its corporations and war. And I would say Trump is the villain, but he certainly is not the only villain. I obviously believe the corporate Dems are also another villain. They're both villains. The press, corporate Dems, corporate RNC, they're all villains because nobody's telling the truth. So they're all villains. I think you have the biggest villain in Trump because he's fucking lying. I posted on my wall something about, he's right that there is no real news because the fucking real news, all they do is cover his fake lying ass. So there is no real. So if you're just gonna cover fucking Trump all day long, you're not real news. You're not doing anything to help anybody. Cheryl says I can't go in all good conscience follow Bernie Sanders. Yeah, there people, a lot of Bernie hating tonight. And yet, Bernie out there in California fighting the good fight, slamming Trump, slamming the media. I didn't get to see the end of his thing, but he was finishing up with slamming the corporate media. So he's the only guy out there that I know of. Again, show me. I always would love you to show me who's fighting a better fight than Bernie. I always want to find that person who's out there running around the country doing rallies, slamming Trump daily on Twitter, bringing hard facts on all these social media outlets. When you can show me that person, I'm more than willing to follow that person. So feel free. Follow me, Matt Stueck, on Facebook. Share any other great heroes of yours that you follow and are going to make the big move against Trump. I still got my money on Bernie. And I'm sorry if you don't like Keith Ellison and the DNC. That's the reality of the situation. We got to keep working. And like I said, I'm with you guys. If they elect Tom Perez, I'm done with the DNC. There's no way. Then we're going to have to work hard on a third party. I'm with you on that one. All right. So keep fighting against corporate media. Keep fighting against corporate Dems and Republicans. Keep fighting anybody who fights this channel. Because look, if you disagree with me or anybody else, start live streaming. We'll get you on here. As long as you got a good progressive voice, we want you. We want you. We want you to stick here and be here and be part of this movement, regardless of what your viewpoint is on anything that we say. As long as you're a progressive platform person, that's great. All right. So I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'll see you definitely tomorrow if I can. Check out Bernie if you don't or want. Share everything that Steve does. Try to learn this stuff. I'm dumb as shit. I'm still trying to learn Steve stuff. So I'm like, I'm like the guy that Steve's still trying to reach out to. The guy who just is fucking gonna have to study a lot to understand what the fuck's going on. But I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. MMAT, MMT forever. Real progressives forever. Keep pushing. Keep sharing. Things. I can't tell you guys that you guys are the most important. Not us. It's not us. It's you guys that are going to make this thing a reality. We're just going to try to do what's right. All right. I'll see you guys. Love you guys. Bye.